Okay, so we will start the today's session. Okay, in case you guys see anyone waiting in the lobby, just let me know. Okay, because in the flow, sometimes I might not get that. Okay, so I will tell you, like, how to log into the TN Vista TN3270 emulator. Okay, so are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so you have to open the Vista software. Um, uh, you have to download this Vista TN3270. This is do not download it until you have that you registered for the IBM Z Open Cloud. Okay, so once you get the ID and password there, download this. Once you download it, your free period will start. It will be there for a 1 month. So you have to open this, and then this is the host IP address of the IBM where I'm going to connect. Okay, this is the mainframe address. Actually, it is a server address, mainframe address to which we are connecting. And then I will put a connect here. So this screen will appear. Okay, so similarly in projects also, there are some emulators. So in my project we use the Rocket Blue Zone. A few projects use the Roomba, and there are so many other emulators. So or some projects itself use the Vista TN3270, but basically 3270 is mostly used for the training purpose. Okay, now so there are a lot of emulators available, so you can connect through any. For now you can go through the Vista. Okay, then you have to type here log on, and then your ID given by the IBM for you the for learning purpose. So I will putting my ID here, and then these are some specific things that needed to launch a session, but you just need to put a password here. You don't need to worry about all those things. Okay, so I'm putting my password here. Then it will give some messages. You have to press enter. Okay, when it is X system here, that means that it is processing. We have to wait. Okay, so we have to wait here. Then enter. Correct. So okay, so we are in the ISPF menu panel. So this is the ISPF menu panel. Now let me revise quickly what we see in the last session. So we see, like, what is the 3.2 option, how to create a PDS files using the 3.2 option, right? And then how to browse the files using 3.4 option. So all that we already gone through it. Let me open the session 3 PPT. I think we left over few things. So looks like I'm going in much detail, so it is taking some time. But what I want is, like, the concept should be clear for all. That's why, like, otherwise I could have just uh, start with and then end the things in a half an hour. But that's not what we want. Like, if you are investing 1 hour of it, like hour 1 hour, so that should be a fruitful, right? So if you guys, like, remember, like, we went through how to create a PS file, PDS file using a 3.2 option. What is the differentiation points between the PS and PDS, how where to give those values, like, the directory blocks and the organization. So these are the one two identifiers that we need to change for the PS and PDS file creation. Basic things. Then we were going through this particular uh, slide. Here we were discussing, like, what are these parameters, this space DCB, right? So I will let me open that. Okay, anyone has any doubt in the session 3? Maybe we can see, your doubt is will not only help you, it will help others to clear their concept as well. So let it be, like, I know that you all are freshers mostly, and then any kind of a doubt is, like, it's okay. So, like, I know it's just the black and white for you. You are not having much deeper knowledge. We'll assume that, and then any questions you put, that will be okay. Okay, there will not be like, a that is a simple question or something like that, right? So you can always ask any kind of a questions you want. So do we have any doubts still? I think we discussed on this. uh, these are the naming conventions for the job, execdd statement, and then in a disposition we discussed in very detail for the new, catalog, and delete, all these three values of it, right? So I remember, like, I never studied in this deep while I learned the mainframe. Now, when there are few things that was still unknown to me in the 7 years, which I got clear while studying this. So that was, like, very important thing. So if you guys have any issue with this disposition parameter, let me know. Anyone, or shall we proceed? Okay, we'll proceed then. Um, Okay, so now disposition parameter is done. So we'll go toward DCB parameter. Okay, DCB parameter also I'll already explained the what is the record length, right? It is the length of the PS file that you are gonna create, and how much you can scroll to a right. That is dependent. Just if you remember, I have given the example of the notepad. Like, you are writing some values in the notepad, and then there is no record length already we need to define for opening a notepad file, because it is like, we don't need to do that for the nowadays technologies. But because it is a old one, you see here, you can give the line 1 and column 20 22. So now we are at a column 22. So similarly, I can go till column 80 here, and that means it is similar. So if, let's see, let me put it 80. Okay, so now line 1 column 80. So this column 80 will be record length of this particular notepad file. So similarly, for this particular mainframe file, record length is 80. That means you can scroll till only 80k. Beyond, you will not be able to scroll it. Okay, so that's the record length. Now, we also seen some options: PF7, PF8, F7, F8, F10, F11, to scroll to the file. So if you want to go to the left, so you will put the F10. If you want to go to the right, you will put the F11. If you want to go to the up, you will put the F7. If you want to go to 8, if you will put the F8, then MF7, MF8, M MF10, MF11, all these options we seen. So you can go through that video if you want to learn about more about it. If there are no doubts, we'll proceed. Okay. Now, this record format, as I already told you, so at this point, don't go much deeper into the record format. For record format is, basically, if I want to have the definition, bookish definition of it, it specifies the format of the data set. Okay.
हेलो अक्षय।
Yes.
हमने डिस्प्ले तक किया था, वो नीचे का रह गया है
Correct. Space,
हमारा।
right? I will.
हाँ।
Correct. Good. So we will discuss the space after this. Okay, DCB, because DCB is
ओके ओके
more important. So I'm going through it
ओके
first. Okay. Okay. Thanks. So this record format is like, the book is definition. If you want to ask me, like, it is just a specific format of the data set. It can be, okay, the format of the database. Now, see, when you open the notepad, you don't need to define its physical structure, how your data will be stored at backend, because it is more user friendly. You just need to type your whatever the data you have, and you just need to save it. You don't need to at all worry about that, what format of the data it is. If you see here, right, I don't know, like, anytime you have seen the encoding of this, okay, this UTF-8, or there are other types of the encoding in the in the notepad also. But we normally don't look at it, right, because it is not needed for us, right? Where, let's say, if I want to save some file, let me show you. I'm trying to relate it with the notepad, because you guys are using notepad daily, right? So now, uh, when I want, okay, see here, encoding options. You want to see, save it as a NC, UTF-16, 16BE, UTF-8 with bomb. So these are the different type of the record formats in the notepad. So similarly, there are the record formats, but normally we don't look at it, right? We don't need it, because we normally take the whatever is default, right? So here in mainframe, there are let me open. There are few record formats you have to worry about. First is FB. It is a fixed block. Okay. don't go in a deeper way ki what is a fixed block, how it is that are stored in the memory. We don't care about it while working on a project. Okay, just know that your file is a fixed block. Okay, then VB. Now for a VB there are some extra things that we have to know. It is variable block. Okay, then we have a V. There are other formats also, VU, then VBS, FBS, VT, FT. There are so many. Okay, so for now, for your training purpose, or for this session, or for this for this particular batch, we will only concentrate on FB and VB, because this is the 90%, 95% it is used in the project. VB and FB only two record formats. Okay, so these are the main things, so you don't need to worry about much at this point when you want to excel into the mainframe. See, this is the beginner and beginner plus level, we can say, for you guys. For this session, okay, you might be at a different level, but for this session we'll considering the beginner or beginner plus level. So when we want to excel, when you are comfortable with this, when you want to excel into this, then we will see the other formats, VBS, FBS, what is that, and how to convert and all those stuff. Okay, so for now, just remember fixed block and variable block. Okay, fixed block means, see, when we see the fixed block, it is fixed. Okay, as its name suggests, it is fixed. That means if you want to open this file, it will be 80, means it will be 80 only. Like, okay, I will tell you what is the difference between a fixed block and variable block. Okay, just remember it. Okay, now when I want to browse and I don't know the name, what I will put star here. I will see like there are all the next qualified data files are opening up. Okay, okay. Now I know that, like, for new people, maybe I'm browsing too fast and you are not able to see the options. Okay, how I'm browsing, what options I'm pressing. So I will try to explain it while I will doing it. Okay, now 3.4 is to see the database data sets. Now I want to I don't know the names of the files, so I will just put a star here. It will with that qualifier, all the files will be popped up. Then I will open this file too. This is empty, let's say. So I will put some, I will edit it. Okay, now if I do a calls option, it will give me the columns here. Okay, this is a standard, I think 80. Let's see. Okay, you want to see the if you want to see what is the record format, what is the record length, what is the tracks available for it, you have to press I in the front of the database, command I. Okay, I will give you all the information of the database. So it is fixed block, record length, record format, and it is 80 record length. That means okay, uh, there are no one waiting in the lobby, right? I'm sometimes forgetting that to accept people. Okay, no. Okay, so now I will open it. I will insert to one line. To insert to one line, there is an option like I1. It will insert to one line. Okay, you want to insert the, okay. Now there are 24 lines. Okay, this particular in ISPF panel, in one view you can see the 24 lines here. Okay, 24 by 80 इसका format होता है. So 24 lines, and then 80 आपका उसका record length आप उसको देख सकते हो. ठीक है. Actually few things are going for these numbers and all. That's why only 72 data items field you can see. This is the 72, and this scroll of the particular file is the 80, sorry, 24. Okay, so 24 lines you can see at a time. So you want to see the 25th line, you have to press the F8. Okay, command F8. Okay, now I want to insert a new command. Let's say I am pressing a. Okay, or let's say I am pressing that. one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is my mobile number. Then my name Akshay Shaha. Then my address Pune or something else. Okay. Now, so when we say fixed block, that means my name, my mobile number is starting from position one. It is only starting from position one, and my mobile number ending at a position nine. My name is starting at position 10. My city is starting at position 22. Okay. Now see, this is very important. The columns are very important in a mainframe. Okay, it is, you don't need to worry about, even I don't know, like 70% or 80% of you never seen this line 3 column 1 in a notepad, because we don't need to worry about it, right? But in this particular mainframe we have to worry about it. So fixed block means whatever like you are seeing, it is the position of the data. Okay, so if I ask you, look, okay, at what position my name is starting in this file, you will see the position 10, because you are looking at the position 10. Okay, uh, this is the fixed block. Whatever you see, it is actually the
हेलो
starting position of
अक्षय,
it. Yes, yes.
ये हम कैसे चेक करेंगे वो 10 नंबर पे या 12 नंबर 22 नंबर पे?
Correct. So I for that I have given this calls, right? There is a command calls. Okay, it will pop up the column numbers for you. These are the column numbers. Okay,
हाँ यस.
it is starting from position 1. Okay, this is 10,
हाँ.
this is 20, this is 30, this is
ओके ओके.
40, this is 50, 60, and 70, and then 1 2. So like if I go to my name is starting from A, right? So this A is starting at position 10. That's why we can say that my name starting at position 10. This is a 10. Okay, 1 is a 10, 2 is a 20, 3 is a 30, and then there are 10 like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. It is like that. Okay. 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 Now, what is a variable block? Okay. So this is something different with a variable block. Now, fixed block, this is the only thing you have to remember at this point. Okay. Don't go in complexity or how it is going into the storing a main area and all those things. Okay. Now, in a variable block, just give me a second. Okay. Okay. In a variable block, it is not like how you see. Okay. So let me show you. Just give me a second. Yeah. So this is like it is like if you have to go plus 4. Okay, so in variable block first four bytes are reserved. Okay, for the for storing the some fields. Okay, don't go in that complexity. Just remember at this point only this thing. Variable block is like whatever you see, it is plus 4. So if I want to, if it my file is variable block, and if I want to do some sort based on my name. Okay, then in fixed block my name is starting at 10. Okay, in variable block also my name is starting at 10, but let me open create one variable block file. Okay, okay, now you want to copy the file, one file to another. You always don't need to submit a job for it. You can put the command co there, that will copy. Then I will view the dataset name Z133464, then dot sftmf dot file 3. Okay. Then again one more window will pop up. Okay, this is similar for all. It is not like that. In all ISP panel you will have these options only. Okay. एक minute, huh? I have some issue with the internet. Now, if you want to allocate using the same attributes of this one, you just press a 1. Or if you want to have specify some other attributes. Now I want to convert that FB to VB, right? So I will basically try to put here VB. Copy. Now, if I see the this one, it is VB 80, right? And when I go and actually view the data set, see, you are still seeing at position 10, but actually in a memory it is stored at plus 4 karna hai. For variable block, we have to just a one rule, okay? Plus 4 rule. So if someone asks you what is the starting position of my name, it should be a 14 here. What is the starting position of my city? It should be 27, 23 plus 4. What is the position starting position of my mobile number? It is 1 plus 4, 5. Okay. Okay. This goes, I mean, all are good, right? Okay.
Yes, अच्छे है.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Uh, just let's give me some response. At least I will know. Like I want to. We want to. I mean, I want to explain more here, or we are done with it. Okay. ठीक है. Now you got this parameter FB and VB. This is a thumb rule. Only two parameters for now. VB FB. FB is like the same record length. Whatever you see, forget about FB. FB, right? Only when it comes to a VB. VB is a plus 4 rule. Okay. Whatever you see, just apply the plus 4 rule to that. That is the position of your data record in the file. Okay. Now block size. Okay, so actually it contains the physical record length. See, this is a memory specific parameter, so don't go deep into it. You just know that in a dcb parameter we have to write, see, only record length and record format is necessary. Okay, you don't need to write a dcb parameter also. So if I just write record length and record format, it will automatically take block size. So see, where it should be now, it should be in multiples of record length. Okay, normally, but don't go into the deep. It is the parameter how your data is stored inside the memory. So you don't want to calculate it, or you don't want to know go much into it. Just put the 0. It will auto calculate your block size. Okay, and ds.org is your how, what is the file, what is the file's structure? Is it a ps file, or is it a pds file, or is it a ksds file, or there are some other formats in a vsam? Just let not go into it. Just it is ps or po at this point. Ps is partition dataset, and po is a pds member folder pds, right? And ps is normal member inside it. So these are the main parameters in the dcb. So only you want to worry about is record length and record format. This is very important. Record length, I already explained. Record format vbfb. In vb we have to apply the plus 4 rule. In block size, you don't want to calculate, just put it as 0. It will auto calculate it. And dsr, you have to give it, or if you don't give that doesn't matter. Okay, so that's okay. So now for creating any new data set, you have to give this thing, these three um, main parameters. Now I will go to a space parameter. Again, this is a memory specific parameter. How much memory you want to allocate to a this ps file? See, when I open my notepad, okay, I don't need to specify like how much memory I want to allocate to it, right? Because some default memory is allocated to it by default. But because mainframes are, because they know notepad is created for your personal use, so that there are the data that will be there will be a limited amount. There will not be there will not be a vast data into the notepad. It will not support it anyway. So that's why they have some specific memory allocated to it by default. And when you open a new notepad, some default memory is allocated to it at the back end. But in a mainframes are not designed for a personal purpose. Okay, some files will have the 10 line records, some file will have the 100 records, some file will have the 10 lakh records, some file will have the billions of records. Okay, in my project we are processing the billions of records. So if I want to process that much of huge data in my file, I have to allocate the larger space for the file, right? Now space means, like, consider it as your GB. Okay, like you have the in mobile you have 64 GB, ROM, and then RAM you have, right? 4 GB, 64 GB. So RAM, we don't need to specify here anything RAM. We have to specify here the memory. Okay, now what are the just a second. Yes. So this is the format of. Okay. Now again, one thing I missed. This is the structure of it. Okay. This is the syntax of it. Okay, for writing the file dcb equal to. So you have to know this syntax. By practice you will get to used to it. Now in a space parameter, syntax is that you have to specify here what unit of the memory. Okay, there are certain units: track and cylinder. Okay, trk, track and cylinder. It is similar to, like, for length you have millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, right? So these are the units of length, right? Millimeter, centimeter, meter, kilometer, right? Similarly, in a mainframe, for a space, these are the units: track and cylinder. Track is a smaller unit, cylinders are the larger unit. Okay, I'm trying to simplify it or oversimplify it so that you will not invest your energy in going into deep in this particular thing, because anyway this is not needed. We have to have some fixed space parameter and put it same for all the files. Or if you want to have a larger data, just change the numbers here. Okay, so that's the only thing you have to remember. That's why I'm oversimplifying it. Track is a smaller unit, cylinder is a larger unit. These are the two units of the memory in the mainframe. Okay, for the file we have to use this two. Either it will be a track or it will be a cylinder. Okay. Okay. Now what is the format of it? Okay, this is the first place. Okay, where you have to give the unit of it, then comma. Okay, and then what is this is the primary quantity of the memory, how much tracks you will be allocating to it, and then this is the secondary quantity. Okay, primary quantity, secondary quantity, and then release is the parameter. Like, okay, will so everything is clear about, everyone is clear about the track and cylinder, right? It is just a unit. Track is a smaller unit, cylinder is a larger unit. Okay. 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 So now the next parameter is next thing is the primary and secondary memory allocation. Primary means, so there are, let's say there are you know you have 100 guests. Okay, and now you see that 100 guests are coming, so you allocated 10 rooms for them. Okay, and you have some spare rooms also, right? 5 spare rooms in case my guests are increased, I will use them at those 5. So similarly here, so if primary allocation is a 10 tracks. Okay, and if my data comes beyond it, so I can't I don't know, right, real time what data will come. I don't have an exact amount of the data that will come into my file in the real time world, because we don't know like how much lines of data will come into my file from the table or from some other sources. So I have some that is not a fixed number. That's why I have some primary and secondary allocation for it. It is just like in wedding, you will allocate a 10 rooms and you will have 5 rooms for spare somewhere. In case if needed, I will use them. So it is similar to this. If more data comes, I will use the secondary memory allocated for it. Okay. So for how to read this, the tracks are allocated. 10 tracks are primary. 100 tracks are a secondary. So once this primary 10 tracks are full, it will start using the tracks from the secondary. Okay. And when these all secondary tracks are also full, then it will fail. it will abend with space error, that there is a no space, you have to allocate extra space to it. Okay, so for at this point, just remember this is a unit, track or cylinder. If it is a cylinder, I will put like a cylinder here. If it is a small, if you want to deal with a small data, just put a track here. If you want to deal with a larger data, put the cylinder here. Okay, and then this is the primary allocation and this is the secondary allocation, and this is the parameter. After comma, you have to put the parameter here. This release parameter is what you want to do of the remaining space. Okay, so let's say, see, in my 10 years sorry, 7 plus years, 8 years, see, there are different options here. Okay, release, config, mixing, or round or something. There are so many things. Just only used option is release. Release is what you want to do with that memory. This particular location will specify what you want to do with that memory after your use. So let's say my file used only one track. Okay, let me show you, okay, how much tracks it used. You can see that, right? So how to see the information of this file, I will put a I here. So first extend allocated कितना है 2528 और use, see, there are allocated 25218, but only used is a one track, one only is used out of it, right? So now remainings are free, we don't need to use it because my data is very 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 low, just a one line of data. So what to do with that? See, if you take a if consider it as like, you have one movie, okay, and you want to download it into your mobile. Now you allocated some 3 GB for it, okay, but yet that movie is downloaded within the 500 MB, and then rest of the memory is free. So what you will do, you will download and you will use the rest of the memory for other purpose, for downloading some other video or some for storing some other information, right? You will release that memory. So similarly here, if I only use the one track of it, and then nine tracks are not used, so what you will do that nine tracks, release those tracks. I don't want to keep it with myself, someone else will use it. So it should be always release parameter here. Okay, release means release the memory, remaining memory. So only one track is used, release rest of the nine tracks. Okay, clear it? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now we learned about disk parameter, space parameter, DCB parameter. So for specifying every new file, you have to put it these three parameters. Okay, to create a new file. Okay, to use this file in somewhere else. Let's say you created the file. Now you want to use this file. So the disposition parameter will be share. Okay, just share or old or mod. Okay, you when you are using it, this is the input. When you are using that as an input, you just need to specify this equal to share. Okay, if you want to update this, it is old, okay, or mod. But in an input, like, you don't need to specify this all things parameter. This is only needed while creating a new file. So this is logical, right? Why you want to specify all these parameters while using the file? You will use whatever parameters are there are already allocated to this. Since you are using it, that means that file is already there. So that means, like, see, if I am opening this notepad, readme notepad, some memory and everything is already allocated to it. I don't need to allocate all these things again, right? Because I will just use it. So for use purpose, put the disk equal to share. Um, Normally disk equal to share and old. If you want to update that, it will be old also. So for now, just remember disk equal to share we have to use for input file while using that input, and while creating a new file you have to specify this parameter. So it is obvious that while creating a new file, I need to tell my mainframe like what should be the disposition of that file, what should be my record. See, here I have not mentioned all the DCB parameters, right? Because only needed parameters are record format and record length. Rest all it will take. And then space. Okay, okay, this unit is there. Unit is like, one more parameter I forgot to explain is unit. Okay, so unit can be like where you want to store the data. So it is 1960s. Okay, assume the 1960s or 1970s. So it is not like here we don't have those fancy memories. I mean, for 500 MB we have to have the cupboard size memory drive for it. Okay, just to store a 500 MB data. Now it is different case altogether. But for unit, either it will be a tape or it will be a sysda is a dash d memory. Okay, just okay, I will simplify it. Unit is like, see, when you want to copy the 100 MB of data. Okay, what you will do, you will copy it in your mobile. Okay, in your memory card. Okay, if you want to copy the 10 GB of data, you will basically use the pen drive for it, right? Because uh, the data is larger, and if you want to store it for a long time, then and data is 100 GB, you will use the hard disk for it, right? So these are different units of, we can say, different devices where we, not a units, different devices where we store it, right? So similarly, here there are two things. Again, large in a very high level. There are only two things that you have to remember. Unit equal to, it is sysda. Sysda will store the data in dash ds, and then another value for it, which is valid, is tape. So it will be stored on a tape. So the tapes are like, those movie tapes, the movie rolls, right? Where the movie is stored, and then in older days, like, those will be used for while showing the picture to you in a theaters, right? So these kind of a tapes are there. So data is actually stored on those kind of a tapes. When or you record, let's say, in our childhood in 90s, we used to record the our video, sorry, our audio on the recorder. We using the recorder on the tape. We have those tapes, right, for songs and everything. So similarly, that time, either it will be stored on a dash ds or a tape. Okay, these are the devices. So normally you don't need to worry about it. It is most commonly a sysda. Okay, when there is a tape, that means your sysda memories are available to you. See, you can go and see sysda means those dash ds are allocated to your session. Okay, you don't need to specify any more thing. You just need to go here, 3.4, um, go here and then just browse it. Okay, but when it is tape, it will be stored, some at some other location. Okay, so if you want to see the data inside it, you will not be able to see that because it is in tape. You have to convert that tape to a sysda. Okay, you have to bring that tape to this session. So this is what we have to do to store a data in sysda or tape. Okay, so normally, more I mean, we normally use the sysda. That means my memory is allocated, available to my session, and I can directly go browse my data. I can directly see my data. But if it is a tape, it will not be, you will not be able to browse it using the browse or view or edit option. You have to bring that to sysda, and then you have to use it. Consider it as like, sysda is something which is stored at your, see, let's say if you, there are two things. Okay, you store some movies on your mobile, and you have to store some movies on your laptop. Okay, when you want to see the movie from a laptop in your mobile, what you have to do, you have to transfer that from a laptop to mobile, and then you can see it on a mobile, right? So similarly, it is stored at some other location in a tape. You have to bring it down to sysda, and then you will be able to see the data inside it. Clear है? क्लियर है? अरे बोलो भाई, होना सब लोग, मतलब ऐसे। ओके, ठीक है।
मैं सबसे
Yeah, we have to concentrate it, because these are very important concept. No one will go through it in this deep detail because we normally have some specific parameters. We have to just use that, and you don't need to worry about it, but you should know about it, what it is. Okay, so unit, consider this example: one movie stored in your laptop and one movie is stored in your mobile. So if you want to see some movies on mobile, you, if it is stored on a mobile, you will directly able to see. If you, it is stored on your laptop or some pen drive, you have to bring that to your mobile somehow, xyz method, and then you will be able to see it. So similarly, sysdar, you can directly able to browse and view and edit and use that in your mainframe session. For tape, you have to bring it down to a sysda, and then you will be able to see the data. Or if you want to use the tape itself, you have to give some more, you have to give the address of that tape, like on what volume it is stored and what tape is used to store, to use it directly in your calculation. Okay, so similarly, this one parameter was also remaining. Okay, now I think we went through details for all the important parameters for a file. Now PS file and PDS files are, I hope it is clear for all of you how to create it, what are the parameters we need to specify while creating a new file, what are the parameters we need to specify while using the file. Okay, this is for using the file, this equal to share. For new file, we have to specify these characters. Okay, now I will go to a next slide. GDGs. Okay. Now what is this GDG? Generation data sets. Okay. So just like we have a two files, right? PS file, PDS file. Similarly, we have the GDGs. Okay, these are the I can say these are the bunch of the files, okay, with the same name, okay, with the different versionings. Okay, so this looks like this. Let me create one gdg base. I think I already created it. I'll tell you like how it is. Okay, copy that and then create one. I think I have created it somewhere. Okay. So now creating a GDGs, okay, I will just go through a first of all, theory part. So GDGs are the group of the data set related to each with by their versions. Okay, it is related to each other by their versions. Okay, they are related to each other by their versions, or it is kind of a group of data set. Okay, PS file is just a one data set. Now GDGs are the group of a data set. It's a group of same type of information. So, okay, I will explain you the use of it. Okay, so let's say um, you have uh, you have one company. Okay, what that company does is, I'm just telling it to you in a simplified manner. Daily what it does, it takes the there is one company. Okay, you are in one company, and then your job is to gather the information of your clients. Okay, or gather the information of daily some data which comes daily. Let's say maybe the daily weather forecast you have to capture. Okay, let's say today is the temperature is this, humidity is this, and all those things. The daily, see here, you see, right, this is a 27-degree daily. Daily some weather forecast is there. Your job is to capture that daily forecast and store it in the memory. Okay, now consider you are doing it in a mainframe. Okay, so in mainframe what you have to do is, date wise you have to create a new files. Like let's say today's date is like dt date 2306. So for today's data I will store in this ps file. For tomorrow's data I will store in 24. For day after tomorrow's data, I will store in 25. For 26, I will store in 26. For 27, so every day you have to create a new PS files. Okay, but the data will be data inside it is a similar. It is a similar type of a data, but just it is that the days are different. I mean, you have to create a daily file for it, right? With the same data. So for this purpose, we have a GDGs. So what I will create, I will create a GDG. Let's say, so this is, let's say, daily forecast GDG. Okay, I will put it like weather forecast. Okay, weather forecast. My ID is even 34. Let's put it like this. Okay, this is weather forecast GDG. Then see for today's. Okay, for today's data, I will store it in a version one. Okay. For tomorrow's data, I will store it in a version two. For next day, I will store it in a version four. For next day, I will store it in a version five. For next day, I will store it in a version seven. So because we are storing the same type of a data, but just because we are storing it every day, we need a new every day new file. That's why we create a GDGs here, and we can store the data in the versions. And when you will open this, entire generations will be shown to you. So I will show you practically. Okay, ऐसे theoretically कुछ नहीं समझने वाला है. एक बैकग्राउंड तो आ गया क्या आपको कि what is the GDG? It is used to store the same type of data with the different versions. Okay. अरे, समझा ना सबको. I'm copying this Jcl to new Jcl new member. So for GDG, I'm creating new member for in a same PDF. So I need to give a same PDF, just a different number. I want to copy with all these details. So I will put a GDG. I already copied this GDG's member inside it. It is having the same data. Now I need to create. Just give a second. Okay. थोड़ा पानी पी लेता हूँ यार. I mean, okay. So normally what I have to use here for creating a GDGs, I will not be able to use the utility for creating now utilities, IBM utilities. I will go through it. Okay. So later, some later day, uh, to create a new JCL, what we use the IBM utility IEF BR14, right? This is to create a new PS or PDS file. Similarly, to create a utility is what predefined programs to create it. So you don't need to create a program to create this file. It is already created by IBM. You just need to use it. Okay, for creating the file. So for PS and PDS file, you will use IFBR14. So similarly for GDGs, for creating the GDGs, you will use the program equal to IDCANs. Okay, this is the utility. Now this is not a sorting because uh, we don't need to do all these things. So for every program, there are different for IFBR 14 or for sorting and sort out are the for sorting for program equal to sort you have sort in and sort out, and for IFBR 14 DD1 DD2. So we'll go through it later. I will just give you the sample JSL here. I don't need this sort out or sort in. Okay. In 16 DD star, I need to use define G. This is a syntax. Okay. Define Gdg. This is to create a Gdg base. Now there are two things. Okay. In Gdg there are two things. One is Gdg base. Okay. And other is the versions. Gdg base is like uh, the main name of the name of the that data set. Okay. And then versions are like G1 001 002 003 004 are the versions. So the main name is called as a base. Okay, you will not store any data in a base, but it is used as a, you will have the generations of it. So let me define the Gdg. Okay, then I create name, say G1 3464 dot G dot test. Okay, dot Gdg dot किस चीज़ के लिए चाहिए अपने को, और अपन ये कर सकते हैं कि लेट्स से वी वांट टू स्टोर द डेली अटेंडेंस डेटा. ओके, आई विल पुट इट लाइक अटेंडेंस DDG. It will store the attendance data of the meeting daily. Okay, and then I have to give some parameters here. Just like for PS file, you have to give the parameters like disposition, record length, record format. You have to give here like empty, no scratch, scratch, no crash, empty. Uh, See, there are so many parameters. Let me explain you one by one now. And then limit how many. So attendance, I will be storing the monthly data. So in month, like suppose we have a 30 days. So normally I will put it as a 30. Okay. For continuation, we have to use the dash. Okay. So for continuing to the next line, I will use dash. And it's dash. I will explain you one by one what is these parameters are. Okay. No scratch, limit 30. Okay, it failed. Failed. Why it failed? How to check the spool? sd.st. Disallow is using the following job related settings. Above, okay. देखते हैं कि इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है. Left parenthesis missing following the keyword gdg. Okay. So there are something that I am missing here. This is related to syntax. So syntax, you can just Google it. You don't need to worry about it. Let me have so let's see. Okay, some continuation parameter I missed here. So I will put it like this, and then all the rest parameters may be same. So, okay, I will submit again. This time it is completely created correctly. Okay, now So if I open this gdg here, so it is created volume is this, that means it is a gdg base. Okay, so is a gdg base. Now we created this base version of it. Okay, now we will create the so this is the jcl to create a gdg base. Okay, I will also create the version of it. Now for creating the version, we will be using the same GCL like that IFBR14 that we use. Okay. तो फिर इसको नहीं कॉपी करते हैं ना, we'll copy directly that GCL. Now to create the versions of it again, we will use the same utility IFBR14. Okay, चलो मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ. Now to create it, now we know the name of the family, right? The name of the family is attendance my id dot attendance dot gdg. Now what I need to use is basically I have to use plus one here. That means it will create a new version of it. Okay, so that's it. But rest all things are same only. You can you don't need this dcb parameter, so I will just use basic parameters. Now I want to create a new version of it, so I just need to put the plus one, so it will create the first version of it. I submitted the job, it's completed. Now if you go here, if you are trying to browse the dataset, you will see that version 1 is created. Okay, now let me create another version. I will again submit this job. I don't need to change my job because it will create a plus one, means next version it will create. So let me put it like now if I go here, it created the second version of it. Similarly, if I want, I submit it again here, it will create a third version of it. That means let's say it is a day one attendance, day two attendance, day three attendance. Let's say how many people are joined in day one. I will put it here. Okay. In day one, like 20 people or 100 people are joined. Okay. 100 students are joined in a day one. Okay. In a day two, how many students are joined? I will put it in a day two. And in day two, there are, let's say, 197, 3 are absent. Okay, so 397 only joined. On day 3, how many people are joined? Let's say it is like all 100 again. So this is like, for this session, don't look at the jcl that I used to create it, or how I just look at these things. Okay, the concept, the point that I'm explaining in this session is a concept for a gdg. So gdg is used to store a data, okay, which is related to each other. So the similar kind of a data, if you want to store for in particular, like in actual real time project, we use these gdgs to store the daily data. So there are some daily processes that runs, which creates some output file. So every time I cannot go and create a 3.4 and new 3.2 and new file, or some IFBR14 new PS file. So I will just create a plus one version of it, and I will store my data in that. That means like daily data will be stored. So 30 versions will be stored into the this particular uh, monthly, if the data is monthly. So now at this point you have to remember this is the gdg base. Okay, we don't store any data in a Gdg base. It is used to create the name of the Gdg. It is a name of the Gdg generation data set. Versioning, it is a version 1, version 2, version 3. Okay, so this is the first version, this is the second version, this is the third version. Similarly, you can use it. Okay, now the different parameters will go in the next session. So for now, Gdg is a base version. Okay, this this is called a base, this is called as a base. Okay, now and this is the sample version name, so these are the sample version names, 1 2 3. Okay, now here G stands for generation number, so it goes from a 000 to 9999. This is a generation, this is the first generation, second, third. And then V is for stand for version numbers. Okay, V1, V2, V3. So don't worry about these version numbers, just worry about these generations. Okay, these are the basically used to store the same data for a different dates. Okay, this is the basic of a Gdg. Now in next session, I will go and explain all the these parameters that I used for creating the Gdgs, and then I will also explain how practically we can use that Gdg in a actual day-to-day mainframe projects. Okay, that we are working on a real time or uh, real time projects. Okay, how to use the Gdgs, how to update the data in the Gdgs, how to use the Gdgs created in a one job to another job, how to use the Gdgs of same job created in a same job. In one step, I created the Gdg, and in second step, how I can use that. So all these things we will go into the next session. That will be a very informative, because Gdg is a very important parameter in your day-to-day projects. Okay, for at this point, just know what is the Gdg base and what is the versions. Okay, all are clear about it, or what is the Gdg and what are the versions?
Yes.
Yeah, any doubts till this point? No.
No, no.
Okay, guys, speak up. Okay, if you have anything, speak up. Let's make it interactive, so that uh, see, only 1 hour we are giving to it, right? So just use it. If you have anything, just bring it up. Okay, and in IT we have to speak. If you don't speak, you will not get anything. So the speak, you should not be in a silent mode at all in the IT. Okay, ठीक है. Then I think we are done for the today's session. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see the Gdg in a depth in the next session. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I will upload the video and we'll let you know, guys. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Okay. Bye then. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.